Hello, I'm Arya Sajedi, and I'm running with the Libertarian Youth Bloc in St.Laurent-Cartierville in Montreal, Quebec. I'm going to showcase just a little bit of my platform, focusing on three main points. Firstly, I'm a strong advocate of getting out of the war in Afghanistan. I do not believe in intervention in other countries' affairs, even if there's supposedly a peacekeeping role. There are repercussions to having our troops in other countries' land. And this has been shown in the 80s when Westerners were in Afghanistan supporting the Mujahideen, supporting the Taliban, and the regime that we now have tried to overcome. And this constant cycle of intervention and intervention to support peace and to support the ideals that we want only creates more warfare. If we truly want peace, we must stop the wars, which is not such a silly idea. Also, I'd like to help solve the major monetary issue we have in Quebec with the education system and the universities. Many universities are running huge deficits, and this is because they cannot gain enough money from the government or from tuitions. I would tell them that they should be able to increase tuitions to the point where they get the money they need. But we need to be able to give education to all Canadians, not just rich ones. So I would couple this with a national plan to give out money for educational costs to all students who cannot afford it. It would work like this. Based on your income, on your family's income, you would get a certain percentage of your educational costs paid for by the national government. In this way, a low-income family would get about 80 to 90% of the educational costs, including books, tuition, and housing, paid for by the national government, while someone who can afford the full tuition, say, of $10,000, which, while extravagant, is rightly what some universities need to properly educate our kids. And if you only have to pay, say, $2,000 or less if you're a low-income family, this could actually decrease tuition costs. And it would really solve the current problem where a lot of students still can't afford the education, but universities aren't getting enough. We should make people who can pay to the full extent, and people who can't, we should help them out. And that's what my plan does. And locally, I'd like to modernize the STM, the public transportation system here in Montreal. I would advocate real-time tracking of all the buses, trains, and metros so that we could get constant information of when correspondences come, when bus connections come. And you would have displays of this information at bus stops, on the buses, on the trains, so that you know how long you're going to be waiting in the cold. You know which connecting bus is outside. You know which way to go. It would increase flexibility, and it would increase people's affinity to using the public transportation system, because it wouldn't have to be memorizing a map, but you could do it more dynamically by getting on a bus and seeing, oh, next stop, there's 3 connections, and one comes in 2 minutes, one comes in 8. It would be a great system, and it takes very little effort, but could do a lot of great to Montreal's commuters. And I think that's a good thing for the environment, for the city, and for the youth. And it's just a bit of the kind of changes I'd like to bring to Canada. And if you look us up, the Libertarian Youth Bloc, you'll see more of our platform. Thank you for taking your time out and listening to me. And remember, if you want to legalize freedom, vote Libertarian Youth Bloc.